We're live over here.
Why is this doing this? For some reason now, every week we start, it wants to show you our. So we're just going to apparently do this every week now. That I'm just going to get up and I'm going to fix this. It's going to be great. Welcome, everyone. It's okay. Technology doesn't want to work when it's supposed to, but we are here and we show up every week and we do our thing. And hopefully, no, that didn't work. But we can go ahead while I fix all these technical difficulties. And welcome, everybody. We will go ahead and introduce ourselves in alphabetical order for another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Not Your Typical Girl Talk, where we try to make sense of the foolishness on these internets. Thank you to Radio Region, syndicated by iHeartRadio, for giving us a platform every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can hear the replays of our show, so be sure to check us out there on the weekends. Of course, we are live on IG and YouTube every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So check us out here. We're also all over social. Just check us out at Not Your Typical Girl Talk. Thank you for joining us. Telly, what is going on, girlfriend?
It is all good in the hood. Hello, everyone in YouTube and Instagram land. I am your girl, Telly, and I'm so happy to be here with the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. Once again, as Carr stated earlier, the foolishness is so sad and so real. We're going to do our best to make sense of this ridiculousness. Sheba, how are you?
I am fantastic. These stories this week, boy, oh boy, not even Love Day escaped some foolishness as we're going to share. I am Toshiba. They call me Sheba. I'm the final female member of the crew, but my partner in crime and in life will introduce himself.
What's up? It's Robbie 3 times. What's going on, y'all? Happy Wednesday. Let's get it.
So, yesterday, as we know, was Love Day, also known as Valentine's Day. And there's certain things that you expect from Valentine's Day, especially you go on social media. You expect people to go and they're seeing all the beautiful things that their sweetie has done for them or they have done for their sweetie. But one of the things I don't think anybody was expecting when they got on Blue Ivy's internet yesterday was this picture that I'm about to show everyone.
Oh.
Rob said, oh. If you are watching us live, that is a picture of Amber Rose's derriere covered by, well, not even just her derriere, it's her entire naked body turned around as if she's in a position from behind, and she's covered it with a smiley face emoji. If you're listening on the radio, feel free to go on Amber Rose's page and scroll a few ways down and you'll see this picture. Now, not only was there the picture, there was the caption. She said, keep the flowers, send 100, not 100, 100,000, link in bio, hashtag Happy Valentine's Day. Now, the link that is in bio is the link to her OnlyFans. Her OnlyFans account is what you get when you go to her bio, along with some other things she does, but this is a shout out to her OnlyFans. Before any of you respond, I want you to absorb this. I also want you to listen to the words of Amber Rose from a January 27 article that was written about Amber. That was February 14th. This is her derriere and things. January 27th, this was the headline about Amber Rose. Amber Rose wants to stay single forever. I don't want anyone around my kids. I don't want to have sex. Amber Rose has turned a new leaf following the split with her ex-boyfriend Alexander A. Edwards, who's now dating Cher. Rose appeared on an episode of the Sophia with an F podcast hosted by Sophia Franklin and opened up about her past relationships. She discussed her time spent with Kanye West, 21 Savage, and her ex-husband, Wiz Khalifa. She also shared her opinion on how men in general have changed over time. It's worse than ever, she said. They're pretty disgusting out here. They're effing gross. Like, I want to be single for the rest of my life. I don't want to share my house or my life with anyone. I don't want anyone around my kids. I don't want to have sex. It's gross. I don't want it. Despite vowing off men, the 39-year-old model and actress said she's open to being a lesbian. But the main thing is she's happy being alone. I'm very happy not to be in bed with anyone. Rose and AE shared their 3-year-old son, Slash. However, the two split in 2021 with Rose claiming AE had cheated with a dozen women. AE has since been linked with Cher 76. And that's where we end. Now, this is the same woman whose picture we are now, she's busting it, as Rob would say. Mega say it in Jamaica, she a bust it wide open. There we go.
Wow. But didn't she also say she was a traditional woman?
Yep.
And that she is the founder of the Me Too movement in her own way with the slut walk?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, just want to double check. And I'm sorry, she's still an act. When was she acting?
In that same thing you just
The
heard.
same thing that she was acting in that.
That was her big debut, y'all.
Wow.
Here's the thing with Amber. Honestly, first of all, she needs to stop talking. I don't know who is reaching out to her saying, come on my podcast, come on my show. But she just really needs to stop talking, because I really feel that she shows up as a different persona to each of these shows. Depending on the show, she shows up as who she thinks she needs to be.
Correct.
And I think that it's ridiculous for her to do this, because, hello, this is the internet. It's the cesspool, the archive of humanity. People pull up these quotes and they're like, but sis, last week you said this. And now you're saying this. And now you've got your whole bum out here showing people what they can receive when they pay a certain amount of money for her OnlyFans. And you've got 2 young boys at home. One of them is going to school and has friends that are scrolling through Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Granted, because, everyone, I know that the comments and stuff, people have been saying, oh, well, people on OnlyFans are only over 18, so she can do whatever. It's like, this photo is on Instagram, not OnlyFans. This is on Instagram where everyone can see it. Everybody can try to at least click on that link. And it's like, girl, you're growing up 2 young men, 2 Black men that already have to deal with enough stuff. And now they got to deal with this. And I just feel that, girl, it's time to do something. Like, find something else to do. Please.
I think the father should take the son. That's what
at this point, yes.
Might as well. Might as well.
Wiz, go get your son. Get your son. Cher at this point with her 76-year-old self would do a better job than Rob. Do you want to get to your segment, or do you have something?
Didn't she cheat on? Didn't she break up with dude for cheating?
Yes.
How's that any better?
It's not. Maybe he cheated because you were busting it wide open on your OnlyFans. And not being the traditional woman that you claim to be. That could be one of the reasons, because what is the point of staying faithful when everybody else can see your cuckoo?
Girl.
If they pay $9.99 a month.
And
that whole part.
Real talk, like, man, is there any bigger sign of you're not well than a tattoo going across your forehead as a female? Like, He could have just tattooed "I'm not well," and I think that would have pretty much captured it.
Yeah. I feel she hit a whole new low when she got that tattoo across her forehead. That was like the entrance into whatever this
Madness.
is.
Madness.
I
read that article, right? You heard her.
Any woman that tattoos her face has serious issues. So because women historically have been protective of their face.
Like everything, we're just like, oh, not the face.
Overtly protective.
Not the face.
And now
overtly protective.
they're doodling on it. So
not doodling. So we again, our advice is Wiz Khalifa and AE, go get your sons.
Yes.
You have nothing for her. Like she's gone.
She's off the edge. There's no saving Amber Thorne. Just let her live in her thorn land. Just leave her there.
There we go.
Leave her on OnlyFans. That's fine.
That's where she wants 100,000 from the very effing gross men that she no longer likes and wants to lay with. Actually, this is my final part. This is how I know she crazy, right?
Girl.
This woman 3 weeks ago was talking about how effing gross men are, but if you were to look at her subscription OnlyFans, 99% of them would be men. These same effing gross men, she now want them to send her 100,000, and some of these idiots actually will.
Facts.
Just saying. These are the same men, not the lesbian women. They're not a whole bunch of lesbian women going on and going. If they're lesbian women, they make up 2%. The gross men that she doesn't like.
Isn't it funny how so many of these women find out their lesbian tendencies after they have a couple baby daddies and a bunch of bad relationships? Like lesbian women, stop letting them. It's like when they can't run game on men no more, they're gonna start running game on women.
Oh, say can
Shondo. CC.
Yeah, I'm just kind of tired of this whole, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what to call this era or this movement, but I really am tired of this whole, well, now that I've failed
in life,
everything I've done, I'm just going to go be a lesbian. It's like, sis, stop.
The lesbians don't want
actually an insult.
It is
the lesbians.
That community to go ahead and do, it's actually, it's disrespectful. So just stop.
I think
stop.
She thinks less of you than the men she's talking about. I'm just saying.
Just say, moving on. We're done with Amber Ho. But another Valentine's Day situation arose for a young lady who wrote into Kendra G's show. She woke up in the morning to have her boyfriend advise her of the following. And we're going to hear from her through Kendra G.
This the wrong way.
Oh, we got to start. Let's play from the beginning.
Kendra G, so today's Valentine's Day, and my boyfriend and I have plans this evening. But he told me this morning that this afternoon he's going to take his child's mother and their 6-year-old daughter out to lunch. He said he wants to do something nice for her today because he doesn't want her to feel bad on Valentine's Day. Kendra G, I have a problem with this. I told him that's why we have Mother's Day. Valentine's Day is for the one that you love. I know this woman still loves my man, and she will take this the wrong way. He said I'm tripping and that I'm acting insecure. Kendra G, I think it's wrong that he's taking his child's mother out to lunch on Valentine's Day. What do you think?
I think he's choosing violence.
From who?
From the woman he lives with right now.
So you think it's wrong to take a baby mama on Valentine's Day?
Her producer said it very well. That's dumb. The only thing dumber than that is her believing it.
I mean, exactly, Rob. I agree. Like the producer was right. Listen, there are other days if you want to honor your baby mama that you're not in love with, then Mother's Day, you can take the kid from her and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take Bobby out to the zoo. for the day. You go enjoy a spa or do whatever you want to do on your Mother's Day. It's Valentine's Day. I'm going to spend the morning with my son, bring him out for breakfast so that I can go out with my lady at night for dinner, whatever. But Valentine's Day, it's not. I mean, the only other woman he should be taking out on a Valentine's Day is either his mama or his sister.
Facts.
That's it.
I have. If she didn't want to be alone on Valentine's Day, why are they just not together?
Why don't you find a new partner?
But it's a
Find a
simple
new man.
Yeah, she should have a man at this
And
point.
why does he care so much if she's alone or not?
Right.
It's like, sir, you have a woman.
Ding, ding, ding.
Because to me, they have a daughter. He could have taken his daughter. I think
Right.
that's a great idea. You take your daughter to show her how she should be treated.
Right.
My
That
daughter's
makes sense.
father would do that. Take her to places to show her how a young man should treat her. So they would have their own days. And if Valentine's is one of those days, then so be. You go pick up your daughter, have time with your daughter, take her back to school, and know
Mhm.
an hour of grade, and then you go back in your yard with your actual women. What are you talking? I really wish Rob would have been the man to say no nonsense like that. We would not be together because there's no way.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go on.
On on Valentine's Day, there's
Mm.
Galentine's Day now. There's Palentine's Day.
There's a lot of
So
Times Day.
you don't have to be, even as a single person, you don't have to be alone. You can go out with your girlfriends. You can go out with your platonic guy friends. You can hang out with your parents or your siblings. Valentine's Day isn't just about romantic love. I don't understand why he needs to insert himself into the situation where he is putting his relationship on the back burner for his baby mother that he's not supposedly in love with.
I'm just gonna piggyback on what you just said, Car. As a parent, you're never alone. That's one of the drawbacks to being a parent. You're never alone, never because they never leave you. They're always there. Children, they are. I'm 43 years old, and I am. As long as my parents are alive, I am there to keep. They have a young child, so she's not alone. She could have taken her daughter to lunch or to dinner to spend it with the one person you love more than anything else, your child. Your child. She could have goodbye, good night. This girl, if she really thinks that this man didn't just go have a power hour of relations with his baby mother, I don't, because that's what lunch is. They were eating, but it wasn't food. That's all I'm going to say. Robert, do you have any more before your segment?
No, that story's stupid.
Sorry.
Ah.
That sums it up. This is some people's real life, though. What is also some people's real life is their partner not having decorum. Rob knows, and you ladies know, I am very big on decorum, as are you ladies. There are certain things that, as women, I don't think is acceptable. One of them is arguing with your partner in public and or embarrassing yourself. Right? I'm not about it. It doesn't matter how upset I am with Rob. He never has to worry that I'm going to take an opportunity in the middle of something like a Walmart to air my grievances with him. However, this lady wasn't raised quite the way I or us ladies were, and she decided that Walmart was the perfect place for her to just have some words with her husband. And I'm calling this condom gate. Here we go.
Why are you buying condoms, my boy? I'm never seen one of these people. Why did you tell me to see the cost of you coming here and buy condoms? You want to use her? You don't get a man. Get up, right? You get up, right? You are nasty. You are nasty. You buy condoms, you here. You buy condoms, you here.
The slowing down of the people is killing me.
lady was like, you don't tell me to sit in the car and wait. And he here, I ain't running for me. Sir, I didn't have a lot of money for me. That's my God. I mean, that's my God. We've been married for 10 years. You know,
This is the only thing I'm really actually going to say on this. We just got a glimpse of about a minute into 10 years of a marriage. How could any man be married in under these conditions for 10 years? He needs an award or
No, he
a
doesn't.
stupidity hat or something.
Big dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you would have been ordering an Uber.
I wouldn't have been able to come home in the same
And
house.
when you got home, you would have had another set of problems. Yeah. Like that. But again, it's not like he's scared of her. Looking at her, I see why he's in the streets, but and again, like he's recording it. He's up there swearing to God he's buying it for his homeboy. Like that sounds super gay. Like
Yup.
Robert.
Can you imagine? Like, I got them condoms for you, bro. Here you go. What?
Ladies, thoughts?
Well, here's my thought. So there's a lot of things here. For me, it was when she started bringing in this poor white man, just probably picking up some toilet paper
Minding his own
and
business.
detergent, and it's just like minding his own white man business. And she had to his own white owned business, and she had to go in and like, sis, why are you further pushing this by also inviting all of these people into
your business?
Your business. Second, I feel for any man that has to start doing this sort of telling these weird lies that don't really make sense. Like this man, this couple, for people that couldn't see the video, this couple is not, these are not 22-year-olds. These are older people.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not buying condoms for his friend who's like 17. He's buying condoms for his friends that are within the same age group as him, which looks like 50 something years old, which this whole thing is like a mess, and I'm just so glad that I don't know these people. And
my only regret, I wish I was there. I would pull out my phone so fast.
Yeah,
I do a live.
Right, and the idea
I
that
would go
they were mad about the
live.
recording.
Yeah,
right?
they were mad
and
at
it's
the
like,
recording.
sis, listen, when you start acting like that, this is free for all.
It's a free
Thank
game,
you.
baby.
Yeah, this is a royalty-free event. Like
Everyone can pull out their phone and videotape your mashup rhino backside. Like, man, you brought this energy. This is beyond masculine energy. This is like a rhinoceros. This is hippopotamus. This is King Kong. This is Godzilla. This woman brought it, and she had no problem letting the Walmart, of all the places to go ratchet, Walmart people,
and it was probably
working part-time.
It was probably a nice Walmart too. It was probably like,
it looked like a big Walmart. It was a super center. I can tell the super centers here. They're very different.
It's like a vegetable section.
Yeah, there's a vegetable
section. The yoga moms go with the yoga bodies and the little yoga food.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
It's got organic stuff.
Go rhino.
Yeah, that's correct. Well, Robbie 3 Times is going to speak about her in his segment, which is next. As usual, again, if you are new to our show, we have 3 minutes with Robbie 3 Times after each half of the show. So Robbie 3 Times, let me prep him for starting with Amber Ho. Go.
Amber, like, yeah. we pretty much addressed it all. It's thirst trapping. It's a million OnlyFans, and she's one of many. And I'm just so disappointed in men for making this an industry and making these females think that they can just come up off of basically doing nothing but showing buns and cheeks and whatnot. And it's just it's like I said, a man can't sexualize a woman who hasn't sexualized herself first.
Drops mic. Moving on to the X and the Valentines and the something something and the something.
Another silly, stupid story. Like I, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't register. It doesn't hit. And he told on himself. I don't want her to feel bad for being alone. Like, why are you worried about how she feel? Like, you feel like you need to act on how she's feeling. Like, man, whatever, bro. You should have went and grabbed your kid, or there's a million different ways you could have spent the day, but that was probably the worst one. And that's that.
Moving on to the embarrassment in a Walmart.
Yeah, this one I
Oh,
could spend
Jesus.
a little time on though, cause like, bro, first off, you should have took her to the hood, because then she would have actually listened to you and stayed in the car. But it's obvious she doesn't listen to you because she said, you told me to stay in the car. And where is she at? Right next to him in the checkout, where you had to go all the way in the back. Depends on your neighborhood. You had to ask somebody to come unlock the thing because you know they keep all of this stuff behind the glass and security thing at Walmart because people steal stuff like that. And then you want to say you buying them for your homeboy, which just sounds like utter ridiculousness. Yeah, man. Like, if you decide to stay in that situation,
God bless
I
him.
pray for you. But yeah,
Yeah.
you look, yeah, you look very inept, sir.
And there's that. He said what he needs to say. And we are done with that because we're going to go into our second segment. But before we do, Carcia is going to talk to the people there.
Yes, this is not your typical girl talk where we try to make sense of the foolishness on these deep, dark internets. We have replays of our show every Saturday on Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio. So on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, check us out on Internet Radio. We are live here every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Instagram and on YouTube. So check us out. Not Your Typical Girl Talk is the handle. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, check us out every week. We love to laugh and we want to make you laugh. So make sure to join us. Let's get on with the rest of the show. Thanks again, Radio Region.
Radio Regent.
So it seems as if Valentine's was a time that a lot of women were actually finding out that they were a side chick. In our first segment, we had the woman who really wanted to believe that her guy was having Valentine's lunch with his baby mama. And now in this segment, we'll hear another lady who had some issues with her sweetie pie on Valentine's Day. And let's hear what it is that he had to say. Again, they wrote into good old Kendra G to ask their question. And go.
Of
Kendra
course.
G, my guy wants to celebrate Valentine's Day this weekend because he has to work on Tuesday. I told him that we could definitely do that, but I said on Tuesday, I know he has to work, but we could just also chill and watch movies at the crib at his house. He said no, he's going to be too tired when he gets home from work. He wants to just come home from work and go right to sleep. Kendra G, I don't know. I feel like something's up. I am grateful about hanging out this weekend, but I still feel like we should be together in some capacity on Tuesday, even if I just go over his house and watch movies. But he is saying that's not an option on Tuesday at all. Do you think I'm being ungrateful, or do I have the right to think something's up?
Magic.
I agree too.
Who's gonna tell her?
What?
Who's gonna tell her?
Why do these people write in?
Who's gonna tell her?
Like, why do they write in? I'm really serious.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah,
they really can't figure out things on their own. These are the sort of people that go on Chat GPT and type in like obvious things like, is he cheating? Is he living a double life? Like,
The man has to spend Valentine's Day with his wife.
That's all.
he's living a double life.
That's all. There's no hocus pocus. There's no. That's it, girl. Okay, that's the advice. The advice is leave the man alone. He's married. You're the side chick. Oh, girl, you poor thing.
I mean, at least you got the weekend. She's at least a side chick that gets to go out, right? Because there's
Right.
those that don't get to do anything, babe.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying you have a side chick, but you're a man.
The whole wave of it is like, one, I'm like, again, fellas, we got to do better, man. If your side chick is that dumb that you think that that's a legitimate excuse, like, stop messing with her. Like, if you really thought that was going to work out, like,
Whew.
I don't know, man. And her writing in, like, I guess we really do live in an era where any attention is better than no attention.
Correct.
So, like, that's why you get all this bad behavior and silliness and goofy stuff, because people are like, I don't know, like, again, just look at me, even if it's with pie in my face. Like, at least you're looking at me.
Correct.
That's just I don't come from that type of psychology, like, at all. I don't understand it. I don't relate to it. And more power to you if you want to be seen with pie all over your face, all over the place. Like, thumbs up.
Here's my thing: are women so desperate for attention from a man? Because I understand that there is mathematically more women than men. Therefore, not every Black woman, speaking because our audience is mostly Black, we're all Black. So understanding that not every Black woman is going to get married because there just are not enough men to marry us. We outnumber men. But that turns you into a full idiot? Because this is idiot. Like,
It looks like.
girl. He's spending it.
And this is
He's not coming home from work and going to sleep.
on
Is he on
Valentine's
third
Day.
shift?
On Valentine's Day.
Yeah, maybe you just don't like her that much.
I mean, they're. But however, because
Weekend's cool, but I do not want to be seen with you on Valentine's Day.
however, I've heard from a player. I remember when we had Michael on, and I've heard a couple men say no to make sure that they're not spending time with the woman they don't want on Valentine's Day. They break up with her in New Year's, right? To give her enough time, so they might do a Christmas thing, but by New Year's they've broken up with her. So he cares enough about her, is getting something enough that he's willing to give her Super Bowl weekend of all weekends he gave her. Like Super Bowl weekend, he gave her Super Bowl sometime on Super Bowl weekend, but he ain't giving her Valentine because he doesn't want her to get any idea that
Exactly.
He's trying to hold on to her. But here's what I do know, right? Here's what I do know. So Valentine's evening, being single, I, of course, was not out on a date, but I was at the supermarket. And the one thing I noticed with the supermarket, y'all, every single man I saw had a bouquet of flowers, buying them quickly and rushing out of the supermarket to get home. If you have a man that wasn't rushing home after work with either reservations, some sort of, I don't know, pizza, or chocolate, flowers, or just even rushing home, if he wasn't doing that, then you got to check it.
That's not your man. That's not her man. But sis, you enjoy your. Listen, for a lot of women, side man is where they have to live because they have to. There are just not enough men. So maybe there are just women who are just like, you know what? I'd rather have a man or a warm body than no warm body. So you take Whatever. Moving
I
on.
don't know. The land of delusion is not a place where I choose to reside.
But it's
No.
growing. It's growing largely. The land of delusion. It's getting bigger.
Exponentially, as my TI words, exponentially is
Yeah.
its growing. People are becoming more and more deluded, and maybe it's the water. I don't know,
Maybe
because
it's the
this is
water.
crazy. It's social media for sure,
Oh,
but
girl,
I would
yes.
also blame the water. Filter the water or something. I don't know. Moving
Girl,
on.
all of that. You gotta bless that water.
Listen, speaking of the water, here's the thing. Not everyone should have a podcast, despite the fact that between us, we have like 4. We got like 4. But not
We're
everybody,
busy content creators. Girl.
We all love to talk.
and not everybody should be a preacher.
True.
But nowadays, you can do either because of social media.
Oh boy.
This particular preacher had a message that made me realize that I am not a Christian. And this message she's going to share with all of you as to why I, Toshiba, can never be a Christian.
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got that is okay with it. I don't care what pastor you got that think it's cool. I don't care what pastor you bring that's singing along to that song. Because they want some clout. Why do you think that man called himself Jehovah? It was short for Jehovah. When a witch has a coven, it's normally a small thing. Witches' covens are normally 3 to 7 people. When it becomes thousands, it's called a hive. Y'all are part of that lady beehive? And you call yourself a Christian? May the dealings of the Lord come upon you. You think this is small stuff?
So before Rob makes his point, I'm just going to read it for people who are on the radio who may not have gotten what she was discussing. This is the headline. Pastor isn't here for her people going to Beyonce's concert and calls her a witch. Y'all are a part of that lady beehive, and you call yourself a Christian, as you heard her say. Robert.
It is what it is. This is why I don't like women pastors. It got nothing to do with nothing.
I do claim him. He's all mine. He's all mine.
This is what I have to say. And, grew up in church. It's always been a part of my life.
Yep.
If I was sitting in a church and that was the sermon, I wouldn't have gotten to the end of it.
Oh,
I
sure.
would have already, I would have gotten up, picked up my handbag, clean off my brush myself off and walk out. How does this sermon help or serve anyone?
Thank you. It doesn't.
Like,
I'm gonna
this
tell-
is not
it
what the
does.
church is supposed to be doing. This is not the sermon that we need to be hearing right now.
I'm going to tell you what the issue is. Here's the thing. If you're spending money on Beyonce tickets, you can't take that money and tithe to the church.
Ding,
Beyonce
ding, ding,
tickets are about
ding.
$300 to $500, even and not the greatest thing. So if you're taking your money and going to spend money and your her earnings to go see Beyonce and her, Jehovah husband, you cannot tithe to the church. Hallelujah.
But the church will be all right. So this man needs to calm down. The church will be all right.
Right.
It's just really sad that, it seems like she has like one of those kind of huge mega church. It sounds like it anyway. I don't know how many members she has. Who knows? It could be like Pastor, what's his face from Brooklyn, for all we know.
Bishop Lamore
Whitehead in his crazy church. But what's sad is people go to church because they need something to fill their soul. They go to church because they want to be uplifted. They have things going on in their life that are tossing them to and fro. And it's really sad that you step into the sanctuary where Jesus lives.
Yeah,
and this is what you bring.
This is ridiculous.
Beyonce?
Like, yeah.
Actually, this is a huge commercial. You know what people are going to do now? They're going to run and
now
say,
they're really gonna
I wonder if I can get any tickets for Beyonce, because that's what people are going to do.
Yeah, she's just promoting
She's
Beyonce.
just promoting Beyonce more. So it's like, thank you.
Yeah, and I feel it
guess.
sounds like jealousy to me. I think this woman has a big problem with the success.
Ooh, maybe back in the day, she tried to be a member of Destiny's Child.
There are some people out there that
Well,
really
talking about back in the day, she had a few words to let us know as to what her issue is with Beyonce.
Okay.
Read. Beyonce is not a Christian according to the standard of the Bible, so she is not my problem. She's being who she is, but you, the believer, the one who called him or herself a Christian, a follower of Jesus Christ, you are the one I'm rebuking. You have no business mixing God with the world. You have no business going to Beyonce's concert and at the same time singing the song of the Lord. You have no business trying to have both light and darkness. Y'all aren't ready for what is about to happen. The fear of the Lord will return. Now, she then goes into a little bit more. I got saved in 2015. I'm going to apologize for this word I'm about to use, ladies and gentlemen, but it's in what she says. These retarded tweets I wrote was in 2012 and 2014. I used to love Beyonce and Jay-Z, and I was definitely not saved and hated the church, LOL. I also loved having sex before marriage, drinking, going to the club, busting B's head wide open if they played with me, and a host of other ungodly things. Got saved in my shower, August 2015. Haven't compromised my relationship with God by bowing down to Beyonce since. Find y'all somebody else to play with. I have the backing of the Lord. The Lord. Your idols will drop dead. Thus saith the Lord. Enjoy your Sunday, guys.
Whew.
This is another example of why the church isn't churching.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Facts.
That
That's
whole
it.
part.
That's it.
I don't recall a time growing up as a child. I have attended church in my beautiful island of Jamaica. I have attended church in my adopted country / city of Toronto, Canada. I've attended churches in several states in the United States as I was growing up, and never once have I heard a pastor basically tell me I'm going to be damned to death because I dare to be worldly.
Girl. And you see, that's why just stick to the Bible, pastors and pastorettes. Just open the Bible and just read whatever in there and preach from that.
Yeah.
Leave everything else alone.
Leave everything else alone.
You're just making church look bad. Please just stop. And secondly, not to cut you, she's clearly obsessed with Beyonce and Jay-Z. She has a mental problem.
Thank you.
And she needs to figure out her life, step down as a pastorette, and go find Betty Ford Center to fix your brain, because clearly something is wrong with it. You're obsessed.
Yeah. And this idea where she said she doesn't care, or she doesn't have, she doesn't care about Beyonce. I'm like, sis, you're spending a lot of time. She did a sermon, then she tweeted about it twice. Girl, most pastors are so busy with doing,
the Lord's work,
like prison visits, hospital visits,
food visits to like the poor or something,
studying the word. Like, they don't have time to study what Jay-Z means or what Beyonce was wearing on stage or whatever. That's their. I believe there's a part of the Bible that says every man should have their own,
figure out your own
salvation. So why are you out here talking about Beyonce on this is what you're using your platform to do, sis? Maybe you're the witch.
She is. Why doesn't she go and cuss off Rihanna and Madonna and Cher and every other female artist that she clearly has a problem with?
Sermon.
That's next week's sermon.
Addiction to Beyonce.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong with her. I bet you she has VIP seats for the show coming up. She's gonna go into complete disguise. God bless. No, I'm not God blessing nothing. Sit down, ma'am. Sit down. Go find Christ again.
Because she found it in her shower in August 2015.
What she found was a demon in her shower.
I've never heard such a thing. I found Jesus in my shower. I got saved.
She was probably high on meth.
Rob is like, I'm confused.
If I was
You
a
was on math,
basketball coach
okay?
and none of my players could dribble or shoot or play defense, I don't think I'd be blaming them. It was under your leadership that everybody went to the Beyonce concert.
Thank you.
We'll just leave it there.
Thank you.
Moving on.
Thank you.
So I may have saved the best clip for last, and I'm gonna want Robbie 3 times to weigh in on this first after he hears. It's a very small clip, but it says volumes.
I'm
And
annoyed already.
you're gonna be annoyed. So Sherry Shepherd came out and she had a message that she wanted to share with people, and I'm gonna have her share this message. Robbie 3 times is gonna share his opinion, and then I'm gonna share some more details that you should know about Sherry Shepherd. So let's hear what she had to say on one of her visits on the Steve Harvey show.
Like, who is Sherry Shepherd?
Oh, you're gonna see her. You'll know who she is.
Please, the married women. I don't want your husband at all. I just feel like if you know a single mother, can you send your husband to help us out a little bit? Please, the married
Let's hear it
women.
again.
I don't want your husband at all. I just feel like if you know a single mother, can you send your husband to help us out a little bit?
So just to be clear, Sherry Shepherd asks married men to help single mothers raise their son.
I'm confused.
So, as my future husband, when we get married and we're officially in married status, it is your job and my job that I must seek out a single mother and send you over to help her to raise her son and show her son how to do things that a man should. Robbie, 3 times.
On a microscopic level, I can understand the gist of what she's trying to say and our community's need for it. Let's jump over that atom and get to the larger problem at hand is why couldn't you ensure that the man you had a child for would participate in rearing that child? Like, why is that somebody else's problem?
I have an answer, and I'm gonna read it in this information. I'd like everybody to know. I'm gonna put it up here for a second. I'm just gonna turn myself around so I can properly read this. Shepherd was married to Jeff Tarpley from 2001 to 2009. They have a son, Jeffrey, born in April 2005. Shepherd became engaged to writer Lamar Sally on December 26, 2010. The couple married in Chicago in August 2011 and separated in May 2014. Following the split, Shepherd and Sally welcomed a son via surrogacy in August 2014. Shepherd does not have a biological connection to the child as he was conceived using a donor egg. The following year, a Pennsylvania appeals court ruled that Shepherd was legally responsible for the child after she challenged the surrogacy contract and sought to remove her name from its birth certificate. So if you heard, I named not one, but 2 husbands that she's had. So she's had a chance to have a married man take care of her son. The men she married.
And then she wanted to disown her child?
Well, because it was born through a surrogate. So I guess it was not technically her eggs because Sherry is a little older. Not quite
Right,
sure.
but she agreed to having the child, so it's hers.
It's hers. But again, subsequent to that child being born, she decided to divorce yet again another husband.
Oh,
She had
Jesus.
2 chances of having
So
a marriage.
ideally, because it's obvious she didn't want to be a single mom. So ideally she would have kept that kid if some dude was going to stop by and be daddy to the kid.
Well, she also has her first son from her first marriage. So she's got the son from her first marriage and a son from surrogacy. that she still has to pay the second husband child support on.
Rob was a whole meme while you were explaining that. I'm looking at Rob and I'm like, but in my mind, that's exactly how I was acting too. Like, I'm like
instant headache.
Yeah, like
it's a migraine. This is a whole migraine.
People don't listen to her.
Don't send your husbands anywhere.
She went from being a Jehovah's Witness to being an evangelical Christian. So that tells me two things. One, you don't know what you don't know what you're talking about. And two, even though you don't know what you're talking about, you feel the need to try to convince other people that you do.
Well, she has a whole talk show too. She took over Wendy Williams' spot. So she's the new Wendy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That's Wendy Williams' show.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds
and she was on Steve Harvey's show as she spewed this information.
That sounds
all comes together.
Right.
Yeah, we're putting things together. Yes, the power. Nice girl talk.
Steve Harvey should be going to some single mom's house.
Yes.
To father the child.
He's already done that because his current wife was a single mother of different children who he decided to adopt and give them all his last name, despite the fact that nobody actually knows a lot about Steve's biological children, which he has, because everybody knows is Lori Harvey, who is not Steve's biological daughter,
right?
His wife's daughter,
right? And for me, I mean, so blended family. I mean, I'm a part of a blended family, and I get it. If the man agrees with it, then fine. But this idea of saying, "Hey, ladies,"
it's kind of like she's
you
begging.
Send your man. That just the way how she's framing it doesn't sound, because as bad as it is, Steve Harvey decided to marry this woman, and he willingly said, I'm giving these kids my last name. And, like, that's a different thing. What she's saying sounds ridiculous and makes no sense.
But my point is, that's why she felt comfortable spewing this on Steve Harvey's show, because of what Steve did. Like, basically, be more like Steve. Come in and embrace children, even though they're not yours, and give them your time. And ladies, if you've managed to keep the man you have had a child with, or you have a man at all, let us borrow them, despite us making not so great choices about how we flung our womb. Here's my problem. She's had 2 chances of a happy life with a man to help her raise her child. She had a first husband with whom she had the child, and she had a second husband. So she only now has the one son, because the other son she didn't keep, but she has her one biological son. So she's had 2 men.
What do you mean she didn't keep?
She didn't keep the surrogate child.
Surrogate child.
She gave it to the father.
Oh, yeah, good job.
She gave it to her second husband. So she's paying him child support. She's paying the ex-husband child support for the child she didn't have.
She sounds like a whole mess, y'all.
She is a mess.
Like this.
She went through all that just to give the kid to the second. Oh, no. She's problematic.
She said the child has no biological relation, because I think it's his sperm, but a donor egg.
Right.
Oh, God.
But it's still her child.
Right.
She paid for it. She went through the process. But once they were getting divorced, she said, bonafide for the pick-me and bonafide for the man. So the man took the pick-me, and now she's paying the man for the pick-me.
I don't know. To me, she sounds like a heartless biatch, right? Like, this whole entire thing, I'm like, this woman does not sound like someone I would want to talk to.
She sounds like a mess.
I feel
a waste.
I feel a way about how she's shown up.
So she had a surrogate.
She agreed to mothering this child, and then she's like, "Well, we're getting divorced, so I don't want it."
She gave the kid away to the second husband.
You're abandoning the kid.
So that means that now she's down to 1 kid, and she's complaining
you
still.
You want women to allow their husband to go help.
Why don't she go find the first husband to help her take care of that child? Since it's their pick-me.
No, miss.
And now she wants you to take your good husband and go help her. Sorry, Bati. No, girl, she's on her own. No.
And again, There are a lot of unwed mothers who
No.
will remain unwed, right? There are a lot of women who've had children out of wedlock who will remain unwed. And then there are fortunate women like Sherry Shepherd and myself who get a chance at having two husbands. I've had one, and now I have a chance because of this great man up here to have a second next year, October 18th. Watch out for your invitation, ladies. But that's that, and I'm going to hold on to this second husband because I'm not going back out there and do it again. So I'm sorry, sis. You've had a chance to do it twice,
Twice.
and now you want me to send for my husband for go help you raise your
Yeah,
baby.
like
Girl, this
she
is
should not be
no,
even
no.
saying anything. And the idea that she felt comfortable saying it because Steve Harvey is a part of a blended family is actually even more stupid because again, it's not the same thing. You start your sentence by "I don't want your man," but send him over here to
Yes,
like,
to help me
girl,
raise my son.
No.
come on.
No.
What kind of ignorant? That's ignorant as hell.
No,
Like,
no.
no.
You know, she played a stupid game and she won a stupid prize. That's
Yeah,
your
no,
problem,
Miss
ma'am. You can
Shepherd.
figure it out yourself.
No.
Thank you. Okay, Sherry.
And so, yeah, Robbie 3 times will have some things to say, as I'm sure he will. So we're good. This was a heavy segment. It was heavy. So Robbie 3 times. We are actually going to start with the woman who found out she was a side chick on Valentine's Day and go.
Yeah, that's first off. That's Valentine's Day is just a scam, basically. Like the like Black History Month and many of these other bogus holidays that they have that are just gained towards commercialism. One and two. Yeah, like he just don't like you that much. Apparently, like side chicken, he ain't really into you like that, sis. Like, what else you want? You want Kendra to stay? Yeah. Next story. That's
It's like
pretty
I'm done.
self-explanatory.
Okay, the pastor and her hatred of Beyonce.
Her, yeah. I just
Ooh.
again, she's nothing about that woman sound godly. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Um, church ain't churching.
No.
That's just kind of where I leave it. Like, and I thought Christians didn't believe in witchcraft, period. Like, I didn't know that they were teaching that in Sunday school now. Like, anyways. And the last story, 'cause this one is just freaking utterly ridiculous. It's like, one, a woman with a good man can't send him nowhere. Can we just say that first and foremost? As much as I care for this woman, as much as I love this woman, she ain't sending me nowhere. Okay? Why
No.
a woman is running things and he goes where she tells him to.
Facts.
So that's probably why your marriages didn't work out in the first place, because you seem to don't even understand how it works. And second off, like, ladies, I've said this so many times. There is not a man in the world more motivated to take care of your children than their father.
Amen.
So if you couldn't work it out with their father, what makes you think some random man is like, once he see how you get done, he ain't coming back. He's like, yeah, I tried, but they got big brothers and big sisters and boys and girls club and stuff like that for that, man. Like, get out here with that, man. It just makes no sense. It really just shows how like out of touch most women are, and just thinking that literally, like, again, a woman with a good man gonna send him somewhere. And like you said, you even told on yourself first, I don't want you. Like, here's the thing. How about in 2023? If you don't want a man, don't want nothing from a man.
Drops mic and we are done. That's your 3 minutes, Robbie. 3 times. That is facts. I couldn't have said it better myself. If you want to be independent, stop asking people for things because independent people don't want interdependence. which is the dependence on other people for some part of your life. Moving on. So thank you, Love Me 3 times. And ladies, before we go, Kelly, talk to the people.
Hey, we want to thank you guys so much for trusting us and depending on us to bring you the foolishness on the internet, these deep, dark, disgusting internet streets. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. We are here every Wednesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're all over social media, so find us under the name Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We want to give a huge thank you to the one and the only Radio Regent for giving us this lovely platform, for sharing our gifts, our talents, putting things together so y'all can understand how this foolishness somehow sadly works together at the same time. We bring it in a quick way so you can laugh at the sorrows of the planet. We want to give a huge thank you for you all. Listen to all the sorrows we've gone through on our show, past episodes, that is, through Radio Regent, syndicated through iHeartRadio. Y'all, this world is sad and depressing, but we are on a mission to bring joy despite the foolishness on this internet. But in the name of Jesus, we are depending on Kendra, myself, Sheba, and Robbie 1, 2, 3 times to bring us through. Till next time, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. All-Star Weekend. Let's go, folks. Go get it. That's right, y'all. Who are you rooting for? Who you want to see? Ooh, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that everyone's going to get something out of this. But basketball is life. Never forget that. Listen, y'all.
All of that.
Come on now.
Please don't ever put the All-Star game in Salt Lake City again.
Ever again. Nobody wants to.
Right? Even their entertainment. I'm like, wait, Salt Lake City? Utah?
Yeah.
Why are we going to polygamy land?
No.
Utah's not lit.
At all. So moving on. So we appreciate you. We thank you. And as before we sign off, we have to end Telly's prayer with Shundo.
Yes, Shundo. Shundo. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
And goodbye, YouTube. We'll see you.
Bye, YouTube. Bye.